Havoc is an upcoming tactical shooter that feels like an indie Rainbow Six Siege light meets something like Counter-Strike. It's filled with maps that are very close quarters, destructible environments, breachable surfaces, and it has a look that's very simplistic that I think is going to click with a lot of players, and it's being made by a two-man development team. I've played it, let's talk about it. So I'm somebody that plays a ton of shooters and of various kinds. I'll play virtually anything. A BR, tactical shooter, arcade shooter, old school stuff like Quake, but I've never gotten a Rainbow Six Siege for a couple reasons. A, there's a million operators to learning all their abilities, how to counter them, plus the insane amounts of map knowledge that it takes, right? Like, I did play the game once or twice. You're walking along, and you get shot through some rinky-dink hole in the wall in your ankle, and you're dead. There's stuff like the drone round in the beginning, or the RC car, or whatever, just didn't click with me. You know, and I've heard everybody say it, you know, it takes a lot of time, and if you put the time in, you're going to appreciate everything that the game has to offer. Clearly, lots of people do, because it's played by a ton of people, and it's withstood a long period of time. It's still popular to this day. But Havoc kind of takes Rainbow Six Siege concept, blends it with a little bit of Counter-Strike or Valorant, and just makes it simpler. There's destructible surfaces. You can breach these walls, whether they're cement. There's doors with locks that you can shoot off. Again, there's more breachable surfaces that are wooden. You can shoot through some of them. You can blow some of them up with C4 or whatever. But it's just more obvious and easier to learn and pick up. You'll notice that the game also has a very stylized look. Some people are, you know, I've already heard the comments of how it looks. I like this look. It looks a little bit like a, you know, it is less detailed than Valorant for sure, but it's stylized like Valorant. Has that cartoony look. But again, it's being made by two indie devs. I think this looks totally fine the way it is. And a lot of the games that are super popular, that get popular these days, let's be honest, they're not the best looking game. Fortnite is not popular because it has the best looking graphics and visuals. It just has stellar art and a lot of, you know, polish, glitter, I guess you could say, right? Minecraft, not the best looking game, but experienced by millions of people on virtually a daily basis. So I've played the playtest for Havoc, which you can request access to on Steam right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun. The gunplay does feel somewhat reminiscent of Counter-Strike, but there's ADS on all the guns. You can hip fire for sure, but you can ADS with all the guns, so that's a difference for sure. A lot of tactical shooters you cannot ADS, but in this one you very much can. All the weapons you'd expect are there. There's a pistol that feels like the USP or the Ghost. There's a sniper rifle that kills one-shot headshots, of course. There's a double-barrel shotgun, very close range. There's basically their version of a Deagle, an AK, a SCAR, no M4, or a Phantom, but their version is the SCAR. All the stuff you'd expect to be here, you know. Did I say the P90 yet? A lot of guns, but there's also some other stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about this stuff yet, because I didn't experience it a lot. But you can earn these, like, power weapons for a single round, because this is a round-based game, being a tactical shooter like a Counter-Strike, and it does have an economy, through kills. So through kills, you can get something like a rocket launcher or a minigun, and I think this is kind of their version of like the Valorant ultimate abilities, but not linked to heroes or operators. Everybody's just the same. You can buy light or you know, heavy armor, for example. And I'm not sure how that's going to either expand or be removed in the future. I could honestly see it going either way, but it is in there now. But for whatever reason, you know, like I said, this is one of those games where I think less is more, and I think that's a very good thing. You just wall banging somebody is great. Breaching a room with C4 and then walking in and cleaning up and planting the bomb just feels good. The maps, I would say the map design is definitely a little more, I don't mean this in a negative way, because it's still pretty easy to navigate, but it does feel a little more archaic than a Counter-Strike or a Valorant. The pathways are a little more narrow and twisty and windy and so on. But again, it's being made by a two-man team. It's probably the first maps that they've made, at least they are for this game. And making maps is no small feat. Both maps feel fine in the playtest. I've got no complaints. If the other maps are on par with this that they make in the future, I don't think they'll really have an issue. like I said, unlike Rainbow Six Siege, where there's all this equipment and you can be spotted by cameras, this game feels like it strips things back. And that's not to say that there are some abilities or equipment like that. There's a grenade that you can throw, for example, that illuminates teammates on your radar if they're hit by it, kind of like a motion sensor. But it's not super complex, like setting up a camera in a corner or something like that. You've got your basic frags, a Molotov or incendiary. It's all pretty familiar to me as a player of Counter-Strike and Valorant, but it's got a little bit of that Siege element, like I said, with the breachable surfaces, which are obvious. You can tell which surfaces you can breach. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it feels like a more stripped back indie tactical shooter with elements of Siege, and I'm having fun with it. Like, Havoc is fun, but my question about it in the future is, given that it's a two-man development team, what does the release model and roadmap look like, right? Like, if it's gonna be free to play, I think people will check this game out. I'm not saying it's gonna blow up and be the next big game, but it's a new game out there to try. It's something a little different, and it does feel fun. Mechanically, the game is very functional. Like, I've played plenty of alphas and betas and early accesses. The access games, even ones that are successful, that feel worse than this. Like, the mechanics and stuff, the performance, again, I think the simple visuals and stuff, it all works to create just a very functional game, and I like it. I very much would like to know what their roadmap is. They plan to add more weapons over time. How many maps do they plan to launch with? When do they even plan to launch? I know they're doing active testing virtually every day. I would be willing to support a game like this, given it's a two-man indie development team. If there's battle passes, I know there is an interface in the game for skins, but I don't believe there's any skins in the game at the moment. But seriously, this is one of those games that's like a feel-good story for me, and I really recommend that everybody check this out. It's called Havoc. I believe the developers may be Brazilian, because there's always a lot of Brazilian people on these servers. I assume they're people helping the devs test. But every time I've logged in, and there's a very active Discord as well, there's people playing, which is nice. You can hop into games, test out the weapons, go head-to-head, and have some fun. So check out Havoc, guys. I'm going to roll some clips and footage from my time and playtests. And seriously, check it out. It's Havoc. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys watching. Go check out my other channel as well, Midnight Mare, where we cover Dead Drop and Midnight Society exclusively. Thanks for watching. Mayor Reynolds out. See? Look at it! I go to the same spot every game. They can't kill me. They go again. Dude, where are these guys? I just flanked all the way around. They can try. This video is sponsored by HumbleBundle.com, one of the best gaming stores on the internet. You can get games, software, all sorts of digital tools on this website at discounts, some of which are in bundles. So, you buy, the more you buy, the less you pay, kind of thing. If you use my link down in the description, not only will you get great games at great prices, but you'll also support my channel and content in the process. So check out Humble Bundle, and thanks for sponsoring us, guys.